Okay, so thank God my mic was on. So we're going to do next is we're going to do like a photo editing type of thing. So we're going to first go to new, and then we're going not new, sorry. We're going to go to open, and then we're going to open a different image. So and that's the image I'm gonna be messing with. So this is me and my friend at the beach, and we are going to I was going to scale this and make. I was gonna show you guys how I would make my wallpaper, make this into my wallpaper, but that's too much work. I'll just show you guys how to use the clone tool real quick. So first you will, it's the same as idea as a heal tool. So you'll first zoom in. So we're gonna zoom in 100%, and then you can see that these people are obstructing the focus of this image. So we are going to first go to the tools tab. We are going to go to paint tools. And also, I'm so sorry about my mic quality. I just listened back to the recording, and I don't know why there's a really loud buzz. I just need a new mic, but that's besides the point. So paint tools, and then clone stamp, and then you can see it's the same thing. So we're gonna make this a bit bigger. Okay, not that big, Jesus. Like, yeah, something like that would work. So we're going to do control, and we're gonna click onto the beach, and we're just kind of remove these people. Typically with beaches, it's I would really recommend continuously choosing a different source to reference from, just because the water, like the reflection of the water, would change. So if you were to just use the same source, if you zoom in, it's very easy to tell that you use the same source, if that makes any sense. Um, so yeah, so like, so we're just going to slowly edit out the people in the back. So also, that's why also I'll recommend maybe using like a smaller brush, but I'm just not gonna do that because I am lazy apparently. Okay. That's just a pile of sand. I don't need to crop people out of that. Okay. Yes, that's everything. I'm gonna zoom back out again. So after you do that, you should have everyone cropped out in the back, and then I'm gonna show you guys some photo editing filters or like color filters and stuff like that. So you're going to go first. So you can see that this image, I don't know because my friend sent this image to me, so I don't know why it's like heavily filtered already. I think she took it on like a Polaroid camera app. Anyways, so we're going to first go to um, we're going to first adjust the shadow and highlights, which is a skill that you may be able to use within your checklist. So if you look at your blanket GIMP checklist right here, there's some photo modification, and you need to have a before and after. It's kind of hard to see the difference in the example I'm about to show you, but make sure that the contrast is like significant enough in your checklist. But for me, it was, yeah, I just chose this photo because my friend just sent me this photo and I thought I wanted to. Anywho, so we're going to go to colors, and then we're going to go to shadow and highlights, and we're going to try to make us stand out more. So we're going to first change the shadow to 15. Also just change the lighting by doing this. Oh, so 15. So as you can see, when I made it up to 100, it made it really bright, so we kind of whatever, good enough. 15.24, and then we're going to make the highlights to 25. And that's just going to brighten up the picture a little more because I don't know why, but me and my friend is okay. I don't know if it helped. Did that help? Anywho, it did something. You could see when I was changing it, something changed. And then we're going to put the white point adjustment to 1.5, and then we're going to click OK. So after we've changed that, we're going to, it didn't seem like it did much, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring out even more focus on me and my friend. What we're going to do next, we're going to blur the background. So by doing, the way you do that is you go to tools, and then paint tools, blur, And then we're just going to kind of blur everything in the back. So there's two ways. You can either blur or sharpen. So if we have sharpen, and I like keep going like this, it kind of makes this effect. But most likely you'll be using blur, so make sure that blur is checked off. And then you are going to kind of just blur everything in the back. So I'm gonna make this to like a bigger brush. And we're just gonna kind of slowly blur the back. Also, you can change how blurry it makes everything in the back by also like this blur also helps with the graininess of the image, which I again don't know why it was so grainy. But yeah, you can change the opacity, which also changes how strong your blur is. I'm just gonna blur like the middle part of the image, even though it's probably not necessary, and I probably shouldn't do that because it would actually ruin the image. Anywho, good enough. Good enough. So yeah, so especially on this bottom part, you can it's more focused on me and my friend as the focal point of the image, especially also after removing the people in the back. So yeah, that's the result of your image. Anywho, and then what I'm gonna show you guys next is a very useful and very cool skill that I was not able to cover at all during class. Or yeah, so it would be layer mask, because a layer mask is a reversible way to hide a part of a layer. It is it creates more editing flexibility, and it's very useful for creating image I don't know, my brain just blanked out, but anyways, it cuts out objects using another photo. So very more easy way to explain this is there's two types when you create a layer mask, which I'll show you guys next. One would be black, which would be full transparency, and so basically the layer that you will be editing and you added the layer mask on would now be fully transparent. And what you'd be doing is you will be using the foreground color paintbrush to bring back the features that you have just that you applied the layer mask onto. The white, which is what I'll be showing you guys, would be full opacity, so the layer that you would add the mask to is still visible, and then you'll basically use the background paintbrush to hide the necessary features. And hide would mean that it would bring out the other image that you have, if that makes any sense. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So you're going to first go to File. I'm just going to open a new image, so we're going to go to Open, and we are going to go and open our eye. And after you do that, we're going to also open another layer of a galaxy. So after we do that, we're just going to move the eye in front because that's what we want to show. But if you want the vice versa, that's fine. But I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So we're going to right click on the eye, and we are going to add a layer mask right here. And so I'm going to show you guys how black full transparency looks like first, and then white. So if you were to check off black and then click add, it would completely hide the image. And so if you so they were saying that if you add full transparency, which is black, you'll use the foreground color. So now you'll use white. Sorry. You use white to bring back the color. So let me make sure that my paintbrush tool is selected. And so right now it's saying that my brush color is black. So I'll flip this and I'll be bringing back what I had initially, if that makes any sense. And then you can also change the opacity, so then the eye is like, so like you have like this little creepy little eye showing or whatever. And then also you can change the color. So currently the foreground color would be black. So you would, so if you were to change something like a pink or something, and you were to bring this color back and still do full opacity, it would still not be as strong because the color is not as strong as if you were to have like full white, if that makes any sense. So you can either change the opacity or you can change color. Also, changing the color would help, and it will add like a tint to your erasing option. Anywho, so I don't really want the layer mask, so I'm gonna remove that, and I'm going to instead add the white, the full transparency. And then so I still want the eye to be showing, and I'm going to now flip this brush. So I want to use black, which is my foreground color, and I'm going to bring my galaxy to the front. And so since my opacity is currently at 100, if I was to do this, it would just completely erase my eye, and it's kind of ugly. It looks kind of weird. Even if I was to erase around the eye, it's like I just hate it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to change the opacity. So let's just do like 58% opacity. So actually no, it still looks kind of natural. So we're gonna change it to a lower opacity. Yeah, okay, that's better. So we're just going to slowly paint around the iris of the eye. Don't mind erasing the pupil, we can fix that. But I'm just gonna quickly do that. Actually, maybe the opacity is too strong. I'm sorry for being quite indecisive. No, that's too low, I feel like. What? Why is it not showing at all? I'm very confused. Huh? Oh, I removed my layer mask. I'm sorry. I was wondering. Jesus. Okay, so right here. I am being extremely indecisive. I am so sorry. So we're just going to kind of color in this person's eye. And then we see like after we've done that, now this person's pupil is hiding behind the layer mask. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the background color to bring it back. So the background color will be white, as you can see right here. It's an easier way to tell as well. And we're going to just make the hardness opacity to 100, so it brings back the full color of the iris. And we're going to just kind of draw that back. And so as you can see, it added this little layer mask of the background of this onto our eye right here. Alright, so after you've done that, oh yeah, so that would be all. So this is the, like for example right here, as you can see within this image, the image that was, so yeah, so we used the layer mask, using layer mask to turn this rabbit and give this rabbit wings by most likely using either black opacity, black full transparency, or white full opacity, and then just kind of erasing the eagle part and keeping the wings, if that makes any sense. Okay, but yeah, so I hope that helps. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Sorry, that was kind of rough. I was just being picky about the eye part, but that should be all. But yeah, and there's also a lot of tools that you guys may know, so like exposure, stuff like that. It's kind of self-explanatory. And if you have any questions on the checklist, etc., again, please feel free to email me and just reach out to me. And also, if you want to follow along with the tutorial video and watch it again, feel free to, just to make sure that you're familiarized with the skills. But yeah, this is the details, contact information, and yeah.